Hello, this is Ocho Libre with part 2 of my trip to the 12th annual Plein Air Painting Convention in Reno, Nevada. On the way, I went up the eastern side of the Sierras and I stopped at both Mount Whitney and the Bodie ghost town, which is an old gold mining town. When you pull into Lone Pine, you see, if you look off to your left, the Portal Access Road. It's about 13 miles, and if you look up right from town, you can see Mount Whitney. I believe this is it right here. In case you don't know about Mount Whitney, it happens to be the tallest mountain in the lower 48 states. I believe Mount McKinley in Alaska, which is not the lower 48, is the only mountain that's higher. But I drove up to the portal, which is at 8,300 feet where the trail starts, and I hiked up about 3 miles. Right here is a video of the portal area, the bottom of the trail. All these redwoods, waterfalls, and these huge spires, granite statues, sculptures, magnificent walls of stone surround you. Not really knowing much, I purchased this guidebook at the Portal store. And it turns out there's typically 2 ways people climb Mount Whitney. One is the one-day trek, and a lot of people start at midnight or anytime between midnight and 5 a.m. and hike up to the summit and try and return the same day, getting back usually 8, 9, 10, 11, midnight, depending how fast they walk. The second method is 2 days, and you camp up there. There's several places you can camp. But in either case, it makes a lot of sense to acclimatize with several days before you attempt this. I only went up 3 miles out of the 11, but that went up about 2,000 feet to a little over 10,000 feet. And here you can see, looking from there all the way down to the Owens River Valley, which is at about 4,000 feet. So that's 6,000 feet down. And from 10,000 feet, you still have 4,508 feet to go, all the way up there. These guys were going up to the top, and as you can see, there's already snow at 10,000 feet, so they had to have crampons and all that kind of ice gear. Anyway, it was a fun, short adventure. Does anybody want to go to the top with me? Probably should be on my bucket list as a Californian. Next stop, Bodie, a ghost town, an old gold mining town, which is now a state historic park. You can see on the bottom, Big Pine is where I started. About halfway is where Bodie is, and the top is Reno. As you can probably tell, I love old mining towns. Bodie, which is now a state historic park, was a boom town in 1876. You probably know the gold rush started in 49, San Francisco 49ers. But this didn't really happen until 1876. By 1880, it was pretty much played out. There was a brief resurgence in 90 when they figured out how to use cyanide to extract gold. But the town went from nothing to 8,000 people, 2,000 structures, then pretty quickly disappeared. Today there are only a couple hundred buildings left, but they're preserved. You can look inside them. I took shots inside. That's an old power mill, an old schoolhouse, and they were left just the way they were. It's pretty neat to see. And you can see all the miners' shacks. There's some cool maps of the mines and the claims. It's very interesting to me how they dug like ants through these hillsides. There's the mill building where they used to stamp. It's called a stamp mill, where they would crush the ore. Bodie is at 8,400 feet elevation. Apparently has over 300 days where the temperature goes below 0. You can imagine what it was like in the old mining days. They had murders, they had 65 saloons, they had red light districts, they had a Chinatown with opium, the whole deal. Next stop is Reno, Nevada, to the Nugget Casino where the Plein Air Convention was held, and we'll start with day 1 and 2 of the convention. Stay tuned for part 3. Ocho Libre out. Thank you.